As Rivers people await the presentation of the 2020 appropriation bill, the Rivers Civil Society Organization has urged the state government to concentrate more on education, employment, and security. Chairman of the Rivers Civil Society Organizations, NFR George Will, in an interview with our correspondent, expressed disappointment over the inability of the state government to generate employment since 2015. NFR stressed that the non-availability of the budget for scrutiny by Rivers people is undemocratic.
Our expectation from the Rivers State 2020 Appropriation Bill, otherwise known as budget document, is for the Rivers State government to concentrate on education, employment generation, security, payment of the 30,000 naira minimum wage to civil servants and pensioners. The Rivers State government have fared very poorly on poll carried out by reputable organizations, especially on the areas of education, employment, and security. We call on the Rivers State government to declare state of emergency on the employment generation by industrializing the economy, especially on agriculture.
NFR therefore called on the Rivers State government to publish the 2020 appropriation bill as an accessible website for public analysis and for the sake of transparency.
Our CESO coalition scored the Rivers State government low on the availability of the budget. The idea of making the budget available towards the end of the budget year do not encourage transparency, tracking, monitoring, and scrutiny by interested members of the public or organizations. We therefore call on the Rivers State government to publish the budget document on the Rivers State government website once it is passed into law. This is the only way to protect integrity of the process.
Some residents of Diob community in Port Harcourt local government area of Rivers State have raised concerns over recent armed robbery attacks by suspected armed criminals. The residents who confirmed the development to our correspondent observed that the four-man gang usually go from street to street with a black silent car with English-made pistol. One of the residents of the area who spoke to our correspondent said the last operation by the criminals were carried out in Obia Zulu, Ejigini, and Adelibo streets in Diob. The residents who spoke in an interview threatened to take laws into their hands should the criminals return for another operation, saying that the police have been notified of the latest development.
Come back again. They monitor the shop. They say the person from Gambia, black children percent. Because we now run job as all now say anytime they enter that street again, we'll talk political and even at the end, at the motor block, do not one entrance, my motor, now buy 3 use reverse. They all monitor shop where people will play into the where they block food. And I see enter there about walking with them. Saturday evening. This is happen around 7. They're explaining that can't now for you. So now to find that particular number.
A senior police officer attached to ECRAC in the Mile 1 Division of the Rivers State Police Command and spokesman of Diob Vigilante Group, Prince Amatari, who were contacted, also confirmed receiving such reports from the public. The University of Port Harcourt chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Austin Sado, has expressed reservation over the disruption of an ASU meeting by students of the institution. Some placard-bearing students had gained entry into the meeting venue of ASU, disrupted the meeting and started chanting solidarity songs on grounds that they got information about planned strike by the lecturers.
Rumors that the Academic Staff Union of this university, this chapter, decided to embark on a strike. We're here to start this measure. We're here to say 4 years must be 4 years. And we believe you hold the fiduciary position, the position of trust, where you should use your office to hold government and university administrators accountable and not just go on strikes instantly like that for reasons that do not have any beneficial effect to Nigerian students. And the way I say, look, any strike that is not beneficial to Nigerian students we will not be part of, and we're not going to support. And we're here to say no, we're not in support of the same position of ASU to go on strike. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Reacting to the incident, the chairman of ASU in Uniport, Sado, described the action of the students as a height of impunity for students and security to deny lecturers their rights. Dr. Austin Sado said the meeting was the usual ASU Congress where issues affecting lecturers were meant to be discussed.
As an individual and by extension through the platform of ASU has always been to benefit the Nigerian students. Number one, there is no strike. I don't know where you got the rumor. I think we just had an election now. 2 other persons came sometime in September, claiming to be president of the student union and NANS coordinator, and alleging that ASU was going to be on strike. Have we had a strike since then till now? No strike. No. there are individuals that are misinforming. There's no strike, we have not had strike. And let me inform you, in my tenure as chairman of this branch, when the present vice chancellor started the no fee, no result, I led this rescue to go to the vice chancellor.
Our correspondent reports that there were indications that the leadership of the student union government were in support of the decision of the institution's management to sack one Professor Frank Ugiomo, which ASU wanted to deliberate upon. Student groups in Ogoni appear to be divided over the position of stakeholders on the resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land. This is because President of the National Union of Ogoni Students, Palap Barinada, had in a statement gave support to the decision of the movement for the survival of Ogoni people Masop, which allegedly ruled out the issue of Ogoni Bill of Rights. But the secretary of the Ogoni Students Group, Nibarinko, insisted that the Ogoni Bill of Rights should serve as the guidelines for resumption of oil production in Ogoni land and not the template initiated by Masop.
It is a fact that the executive and entire students of NUOS worldwide are not aware of the press briefing by Comrade Palap Barinada concerning the just concluded Ogoni General Assembly 2019. As an active participant in the Ogoni General Assembly, I hereby confirm that the Ogoni Bill of Rights must be duly implemented before resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land, and that the name of our hero, Kensaruiwa, and 8 others must be cleared of all criminal charges. I therefore advise Comrade Barinada Palap to refrain from trading with the name of their union.
Environmental activist Celestine Akpawari has debunked claims by the federal government on reasons behind the slow pace of the Ogoni cleanup exercise. Celestine, in an interview with our correspondent Sandra Kenneth, said contrary to insinuations of threats and violence, Ogonis have been well behaved towards ensuring quicker cleanup exercise. Akpawari, however, blamed the hydrocarbon pollution remediation program, HYPREP, and other ministries for the delay of the cleanup.
Yeah, I think the federal government is lying. I have been part of this process. This is the 4th minister that has overseen the cleanup. I've been part of the whole processes. I can tell you that the Ogoni people have been well behaved. That is, from the launch on the 2nd of June 2016 to today, no Ogoni youth, women or men has stopped contractor from working on any site, unlike our people. So the delay comes mainly from the management of IPREP here in Port Harcourt and the ministry, because in fairness to Shell, all the money that they needed is in the account of IPREP. This is not to say that there is no money. Money from day one. Every time IPREP submits a budget, they release the money to their.
The environmental activist therefore said Ogonis will work towards providing the enabling environment for the cleanup process to take place, just as he called on the federal government to stop exploring avenues that may hamper the process.
To say these things, then they are not fair to us. It means that the Ogoni people need to take some action. So, prove our innocence if that is what they want. But I can tell you that, yeah, definitely, because they have done this. I think all the actions we will take will be non-violent. We are going to meet. Definitely, we will also have to send the delegation to the minister, because Ogoni struggle has been a non-violent struggle. So all the approaches and steps we will take will be non-violent.
Minister of Environment Mohammed Mahmoud had, during a stakeholders meeting in Abuja, said land disputes and other forms of insecurity have contributed greatly to the slow pace of the Ogoni cleanup exercise. The National Population Commission has flagged off the enumeration area demarcation exercise in Iche local government area of Rivers State. The exercise, which will divide the local government area into smaller units for easy access and coverage by enumerators during the national census period, kicked off with the training of functionaries for a successful EAD exercise in the area. Speaking during the exercise, the Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission, Rivers State, Pali Buhari, who disclosed that the exercise was the 6th in the state, said it will serve as a basis for local government planning.
We are dividing a chain into smaller portions, so that when the time for census comes, we'll find it easy to send our men to each smaller portions that make up a chain. And in taking that small portions, we'll know how many houses are there, how many people, after we'll have an idea of how many personnel we will send to that place. EAD is not census. In River State, what we're going to do now is about number 6, is the 6th local government, because each exercise starts with a training session. But we are bringing new technology that we need to get our people acquainted with, and so they need to be trained for another 1 week before they will now be sent to their different communities. All of us want to know how many we are as a people from River State, how many we are from Eche, because it will be a basis for government planning, for local government planning, state planning, for federal government planning.
Director of the National Population Commission in River State, Jumo Barrier Adaka, who added that the exercise will petition Iche ahead of the national census, begged for the support of CDC's stakeholders and chiefs to further enlighten their people on the importance of the exercise.
The exercise we are here for is a way to partition Eche local government into smaller units that is convenient enough for enumerators, for census personnel to work with at the time of the actual census coming up as soon as it's declared by Mr. President. That is what makes us to come for this present gathering. And the gathering involves chiefs and then elders, and including traditional rulers, the CDCs. All that we need is their support, the council, the support of the council, the security agencies, and the CDCs, for them to further enlighten their persons to know or to be able to secure our personnel.
Also speaking, coordinator of the CDC in River State, John Onugwalili, assured the federal agencies of the people's support and urged the commission to capture all areas in the local government. Our correspondent Stella Sasongo reports that a 52-man demarcation team consisting of 40 isolators, 10 supervisors, and 2 quality control assistants have been recruited for each of the 37 states, including each of the 36 states, including the Federal Capital Territory. There was mild drama at the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and Senator Dino Melaye was denied access into the premises of the commission. Senator Melaye had gone to INEC to submit more petitions. Melaye in his petition said he's not happy with the plans of the electoral umpire, INEC, and wants the exercise cancelled over what he described as intimidation of voters and violence in the first conduct of the poll. The PDP candidate asked INEC to postpone the exercise, alleging that the electoral umpire did not include some of the polling units that were cancelled during the November 16th election in the forthcoming supplementary polls. So no INEC national commissioner was present to receive Senator Melaye's petition. The Department of State Services, DSS, has arrested a suspected kidnapper of Justice Chioma Nwosu-Iheme in River State. The alleged kidnap kingpin, identified as Stanley Onoride Kimae, was said to have been tracked down to Okuzi Egbema in Oba Egbema Ndoni local government area of River State in the early hours of Tuesday. Justice Nwosu-Iheme, a judge with the Benin Division of the Court of Appeal, was kidnapped by her attackers who killed her police orderly on October 30th after trailing her vehicle from the Ramat Park area of the Edo State capital. The Commissioner of Police in Edo State, Damal Mohammed, confirmed that the judge was rescued from kidnappers and later reunited with her family. The suspect, Kimae, is also believed to have been responsible for several robbery operations around Delta, Edo, and Rivers for years, as well as high-profile kidnappings, including the recent kidnap of the chief medical officer of Irua Specialist Hospital, Sylvanus Okobenin, and a sister-in-law to Governor Ifeanyi Okowa. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has granted bail in the sum of 60 million naira to Faisal, son of Abdurrashid Maina, a former chairman of the defunct Pension Reform Task Team. Presiding Judge Justice Okona Bank for the rule that Faisal must produce one surety in like sum who could be from any part of the country, but must be a serving House of Representatives member who must not have any criminal charge pending in court. Justice Abang held that the surety must be owner of a landed property anywhere within the Federal Capital Territory and must furnish the court with 3 months tax clearance certificate preceding the date of the application. He directed that the surety shall personally give an undertaking to appear with the defendant in court at all adjourned dates pending conclusion of the trial. Faisal Mena is facing a 3-count charge leveled against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for operating an account he allegedly used to divert various sums of money, including 58 million naira. You're listening to The World News on Today, 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, we'll be back with more stories. Stay with us.
When the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. You're still listening to The World News here on Today 95.1 FM. It's 18 minutes after 7. The Nigerian Senate has called on the private sector in Nigeria to co-fund HIV/AIDS interventions through partnership with government. This resolution was reached, among others, by the Senate after considering a motion on World AIDS Day sponsored by Senator Chukwuka Otazi. The Senate also urged the federal government to ensure adequate funding of the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, for the fight against it and to control the spread of HIV/AIDS in the country. The lawmakers stated that such fears were as a result of the outcome of the report of the National HIV/AIDS Indicator and Impact Survey unveiled by President Muhammadu Buhari in March this year, which showed that prevalence of the virus in Nigeria dropped from 2.8% to 1.4% among adults aged 15 to 59 years. The Nigerian military says it has released and handed over 983 detainees suspected to be Boko Haram insurgents to the Borno state government. The detained suspected insurgents were handed over at Giwa Barracks in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Theater Commander Operation Lafia Dole Major General Olusegun Adeniyi presented the cleared detainees to the governor of the state, Professor Babagana Zulum. And now to the foreign scene. Japanese members of the parliament have tried out collapsible plastic helmets as part of an earthquake drill in parliament. It was the second drill since the kits were introduced in 2017. Earthquakes are extremely common in Japan. A magnitude 9 quake in 2011 triggered a massive tsunami that killed nearly 20,000 people. Clive James, the Australian writer and broadcaster known around the world for his dry wit, has died at the age of 80. Diagnosed with leukemia in 2010, the author and critic had movingly written about his terminal illness during the final years of his life. Born Vivian James in 1939, he moved to England in 1961 and rose to prominence as a literary critic and TV columnist. He went on to deliver wry commentary on international programming in such shows as Clive James on television. And in entertainment, hip-hop superstar Jay-Z is suing a small online Australian retailer for profiting from the use of his name and hit song 99 Problems in books that teach children the alphabet. Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, filed a lawsuit with the Federal Court of Australia claiming Australian brand The Little Homie had infringed on his intellectual property. The lawsuit said Jay-Z asked the company to stop selling the books in March 2018, but it continued to deliberately and knowingly use his likeness and lyrics in a flagrant, glaring manner. The case is scheduled for an initial hearing on December 6th. And now to end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. Students yesterday disrupted ASU's Congress in the University of Port Harcourt. INEC has denied Senator Dino Melaye access to its premises in Abuja. A federal high court in Abuja has granted bail to the son of the former chairman of Pension Task Force, Faisal Mena. And on the foreign scene, famous Australian broadcaster James Clive dies at the age of 80. And that was the news edited by Chinedu Iwuna. For comments and inquiries, please call 08153418657 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I am Annie Abdul Salam. Thank you for listening. Have a good morning.
Today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues, today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Radio has never been this good. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Do you want to enter university without the UTME JAM? Joint University's Preliminary Examinations Board (JUPEB) is the answer. Ignatius Ajuru University of Education offers courses of your choice, and the sweet and good news is that you start from year 2. Forms are available for sale up until 6th of December 2019. Hurry now to School of Basic Studies at St. John's Campus, Ignatius Ajuru University of Education, and grab your forms now. Courses we offer include medicine, law, vocational courses, any course in humanities, education, engineering, management science, and environmental sciences. For more information, please call Director Basic Studies Dr. Jerome Wosu on 0803 096 0994 or Mrs. Hope Kiwikoro, Registrar, on 0803 876 0905.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
All right, it's 23 minutes after 7. You're listening to Today 95.1 FM. Fortune from Planet View Properties is here with me this morning. Fortune, good to have you.
Yes.
This one that you're here this early, don't tell me that the properties are all taken.
No,
Okay.
they're not all taken, but
So we still have a chance.
yeah, limited spots. We don't have much for now.
All right, then.
Yeah, it's Fortune from Planet View Properties, your reliable real estate company located here in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. We offer you landed properties in and around Port Harcourt, majorly within the greater Port Harcourt region. We are looking to make things better for people, and that's why we've come up with a whole lot of ways to do that. Firstly, we try to locate these properties in places that we know that will appreciate in value in no time. Because in property, I think a lot of reasons why people get property. Either you want to start a home, or you want to just run real estate. You want to participate in real estate, which is a very, very, very good source of wealth these days. You know, over time, as in from time memorial, real estate has been the main thing, you understand, when it comes to wealth acquisition. So we cite these properties in location where we know have value, like the property we're talking about now, which is at Ipo School Road. That's very, very close to Igritali. There's a road there called School Road that links Igritali straight to the airport. It's located in Ipo, but the property itself is along School Road. So there you are citing the airport, the new international airport, which is about a minute drive from the layout. You also have the stadium close by, and other good facilities around, you know, that will make these properties more appreciable. Then you also have the issue of features within the layout. This layout has a total of 200 plots, very, very close to the major road. So there's some level of development there already. You have houses there already. People are living there. There's a settlement there already. So you can buy one plot at 1.3 million within this particular layout that has a perimeter fence. When I say perimeter fence, it's a fence going all around the 200 plots. Then you also have electricity, which is in form of installation of transformers and electric poles around the 200 plots. Now, we also have, installment plans. Speaking of making life easier for people, we have installment plans. So for those who can't afford the whole sum of 1.3, you understand, you can just come down to the office. First of all, we take you down to this place. You look at it, and at least, I won't say hopefully, because most of the clients have gone there actually like it because of how enticing the position of the property is. So you should just come down. No need to be scared. If Fortune said it's 1.3, I don't have 1.3, let me come back next year. If you come back next year, it's 1.5.
And it probably will be gone.
Yeah, you know.
There'll be others who will have paid for it and taken it.
Yes. Right now, we are letting go of 50 plots for the promotion.
Okay.
You understand? But by next year, it's going to be 1.5. Right now, it's 1.3 million because you're buying a plot and you are getting a dual fence instantly.
Okay.
Yes, a dual fence of 6 coach is what you're getting instantly if you buy at 1.3. Meanwhile, if you wait till next year, you're going to get it at 1.5 without the fence. Now, we're introducing the fence because we don't want the place to just be dormant. We want people to have actually start activities there. You understand? As I said, it's somewhere that you can start building immediately. So we already have a client that is developing as we speak.
Okay.
You understand? So people are really psyched about the promotion and they're taking advantage of it. So if you keep waiting and waiting, it becomes a big problem for you and you might never achieve it. You understand? So if you know you're looking for a home you can start building right now, you come down to Planet View office at 64A Tombia Extension. You fill out our interest form. Then we take you out for inspection. You look at this particular property. Selling for 1.3 million naira, you get an instant dual fence. And the bomber is that you can win a car. You can win a car. You get the instant fence and we give you a raffle ticket. Yes, that qualifies you to win a car. On the 14th of December, we're having a raffle draw system where you can win a car. If you buy one plot, you get one ticket. You buy two plots, you get two tickets, and so on and so forth. But if you get up to 6 plots, you get the car instantly.
All right. So the card share now is for people who have been listening to this previously. I think the latest to this is the fact that there's availability for installments to be paid.
Yes.
All right. Good.
Yes.
That's great.
You can
have that conversation with you when they come around.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. So let's have your numbers, how they can reach out to you.
All right. To reach us, you can call 070-4400-22221 or you call 070-8100-9888. All these properties I mentioned have verifiable means. You don't have to be scared that it's within the Greater Port Harcourt region and you don't want to have a problem with the government or whatever. There are a lot of stories going around now. They are all verifiable. We have properties ranging from 500,000 down to 1.3 million within the Greater Port Harcourt region. If you want to know how to go about due diligence on these properties, we'll be happy to give you information when you come to our office. I repeat, our numbers are 070-4400-22221 or you call 070-8100-9888.
All right, then. Thank you so much for coming, Fortune.
Yeah, thank you.
This is where we wrap up on this segment. Stay tuned. Sports Attack comes up next.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Let's talk football. Let's talk football.
What a devastating strike!
Football is a leisure game.
Sports is actually my job.
Football is boring.
That's not true. It's way more important than that.
What a wonderful goal! Fantastic strike!
As far as I'm concerned, sports is all about passion.
Sports Attack, weekdays 7:30 a.m. and Today's Sports Live 3 p.m. Weekends 1 p.m. to 6 p.m.
For all you need to know in the world of sports, leave the dial on Today 95.1 FM.
For the latest and trending sports stories, always listen to Sports Attack on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. My name is Adekuri Odwan, Nigerian first ever world silver medalist in wrestling.
A very good morning to you and welcome to yet another loaded and exciting edition of Sports Attack, reaching you from the studios of a premium news talk and sports radio station, Today 95.1 FM, right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. It's Thursday, the 28th day of November 2019, and it's your Superman in the world of sports, Wisdom Obina, and I'm here to deliver the best and most exciting stories making the rounds in the world of sports. On the show this morning, I've got exciting and interesting stories coming in from basketball and, of course, plenty of football, not forgetting the likes of athletics also on the menu. So don't go anywhere because I'll be right back to serve you all the juicy details right after this timeout.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ese Brume, Commonwealth and African long jump champion. You're listening to Sports Attack on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Don't touch that dial.
All right, let's start off with cricket, where Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Sunday Dare, has expressed delight that cricket in Nigeria is rapidly developing to a stage where Nigeria has a world presence in the sport. The minister was speaking at a reception for a delegation of members of the Nigeria Cricket Federation and International Cricket Council who paid him a courtesy visit in Abuja. Calling for more publicity for the players, the minister said, and I quote, "It would have been nice to have the Federation bring them over. Let's know them. Perhaps bringing them here and having the cameras roll over them can inspire and create an awareness that cricket is really here to stay and belongs on the same deck as football, volleyball, basketball, boxing and all other sports. When you look at the professional cricket players, they earn a lot of money." Earlier in his address, the president of the Nigeria Cricket Federation, Professor Yahaya Ukwanya, said cricket had made notable progress in Nigeria in the last 2 years, while stressing the need to find the missing link between education and cricket. All right, to karate, where the Karate Federation of Nigeria, they've revealed that the sport is gaining recognition in the country. KFM President Silas Agara said that the sport is now in 25 states of the Federation and is being adopted in primary, secondary and tertiary institutions. He also highlighted other giant strides the Federation has recorded to include the strategic plan for karate, including its long-term and short-term objectives.
This is what we've been advocating for karate, for us to occupy our rightful position amongst all federations, and it's one sport that will encourage our female athletes, not just sporting athletes, but ladies that need to have that martial art background to defend themselves because of what we're going through now in our country.
All right, basketball, where African champions, the Tigers, will battle host Serbia, 17 times Olympic champions. That's USA, as well as Mozambique in the FIBA Women's Olympic qualifying tournaments. The draw for the qualifying tournaments was done yesterday, revealing the 4 groups of the qualifying tournament. Nigeria's Tigers reached the final FIBA World Cup qualifying tournament after a successful campaign at the African World qualifying tournament held in Mozambique. And the tournament will be held in Serbia, France, China and Belgium. That's World Olympic qualifying tournament. The top 3 teams from each tournament will qualify. USA, the already world champions, and Japan, the Olympic Games host, will advance regardless of their results. So it's Nigeria in the same group with Serbia, United States of America and Mozambique. USA have already made it through, so 2 other teams will be joining them from that group. A tough group, but looks also easy with the absence of USA. That's with USA already qualified for the tournament. We'll move over to the NBA, where LeBron James became just the 4th player in NBA history to surpass 33,000 career points yesterday. James reached the milestone in the Los Angeles Lakers clash away to the New Orleans Pelicans. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar tops the all-time list with 38,387 points, ahead of Karl Malone, who's got 36,928 points, and Kobe Bryant, who has 33,643 points. All right, let's run through the results from the games played yesterday night, or early hours of this morning in the NBA. The Boston Celtics, they beat Brooklyn Nets 121-110. Charlotte Hornets, they beat Detroit Pistons 102-101. Cleveland Cavaliers, they lost to Orlando Magic 104-116, while the Indiana Pacers beat Utah Jazz 121-102. Philadelphia 76ers, they did beat Sacramento Kings 97-91. Toronto Raptors, they did wrap up the win against New York Knicks 126-98. That one ended. The Houston Rockets, they beat Miami Heat 117-108, while Memphis Grizzlies did lose to LA Clippers 119-121. Milwaukee Bucks, they did beat Atlanta Hawks 111-102, and San Antonio Spurs lost to Minnesota Timberwolves 101-113. Phoenix Suns, they did beat or lose to the Washington Wizards 132-140. That one ended. While New Orleans Pelicans, as I told you earlier, lost to LA Lakers 110-114. Portland Trail Blazers, they did beat Oklahoma City Thunders 136-119, and the Golden State Warriors did beat the Chicago Bulls 104-100 to 90 for Chicago Bulls, 104 for the Golden State Warriors. We move over to boxing, where Anthony Joshua insists that he called his downfall to Andy Ruiz Jr. a lucky punch because his training means he shouldn't get hit with that shot. Joshua aims to regain the IBF, WBA and WBO heavyweight titles next Saturday night, having attributed his first defeat to Ruiz Jr. to a punch from the gods. Elsewhere, Dillian White has vowed to deliver maximum violence against Maurice Watch and admits his top priority remains a WBC title fight against Deontay Wilder. The British heavyweight has been added to the Andy Ruiz Jr. Anthony Joshua rematch billed on for December the 7th and intends to end the year with a destructive victory over Watch in Saudi Arabia. The former world title challenger, the Pole, has shown his toughness while taking Vladimir Klitschko and Alexander Povetkin into the later rounds, but White believes his aggressive style will shatter Watch's resistance, also adding that Watch is a tough opponent.
I can't wait to get there and do my thing. It's late confirmation you say, but I have been training, obviously, I've been taking after, looking after myself. That's one thing I've adapted the last 2 years is not just train for fights, trying to stay in training all the time, because when you're top heavyweight, the phone can ring sometimes. If you're already in shape, already in the gym, you can just you can consider it. But I'm ready for that. Not long ago to me, it's probably roughly about the same time as you guys was. No way, Marius works at top already. Listen, Klitschko couldn't stop him. The guy is tough. The guy, he's got the best chin of anyone I fought. The tough guy, very experienced. He knows how to look after himself.
All right, he's a tough guy. And that's all on other sports. We move straight to football.
My name is Simidele Adiagbo, the first ever Nigerian skeleton athlete to compete in the Winter Olympics. To keep tabs on trending sports stories across the globe, keep listening to Sports Attack on your premium talk, news, and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. You will be glad you did.
All right, we start off with the Today FM Under 20 Soccer Fiesta, where players and coaches of participating clubs within and outside Rivers State have expressed delight and satisfaction towards the upcoming Today FM Under 20 Soccer Fiesta. The players and coaches who were present at the draw ceremony made their feelings known in an exclusive interview with Today's Sports Live. The draws were conducted at the Today FM complex yesterday afternoon. Representatives of the teams were saddled with the responsibility of picking the polls. The 16 teams participating in the tournament were divided into two pools, Pool A and Pool B, and club representatives picked numbers that were matched to each team picked. And let me just run through the full fixtures to expect in the opening games of the Under 20 Today FM Under 20 Soccer Fiesta. BK Vandals will be up against All Stars. SKE Development will take on Lifeway. Football International will be up against Eagles FC. Selected Stars will take on SKEFC. A and B FC will come up against the Masters. FC Novapec will face Wilbros. Dominion will be up against Super Emirates, while New Creation will take on Dolphins. After the draws, Sanipe, who headed the draw ceremony, spoke on the transparency of the draws as well as what to expect from the tournament.
Well, like I expected, Today FM wants to give back to the society, and I'm impressed with the turnout of the teams. When you talk about you're looking for 16 teams, and in less than 3 weeks, the 16 teams are there. We had to turn back some teams, but then we've been able to do the draws, and we did the draws today, and very, very lovely, mouth-watering encounters, and it's going to be a very, very high one.
All right, Osugi, coach of New Creation FC, also expressed his satisfaction in the nature and manner of which the draws were conducted.
The way everything is being done and the coordination I saw when I came in, I believe it's gonna be one of the best competition ever. Bright
Ukwoma, PRO and player of New Creation FC, also expressed delight towards the nature of the draws, reiterating that his team are not afraid of Dolphin FC Academy, of whom they will be playing in their very first encounter.
One reason I would say I'm impressed is because as a young player, we need fights. So hearing the big name Dolphin, it's not a big deal. They are human beings, they are players like us, and they're also young players like us. So it's an opportunity for us to dig it out.
All right, it's not a big deal. The Today FM Under 20 Soccer Fiesta will kick-start on the 4th of December to the 14th of the same month. The tournament will be played on a knockout basis, with all knockout matches scheduled for the NTA premises in Goba, Port Harcourt. The final is scheduled for the University of Port Harcourt Stadium. Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie has been named the best goalkeeper in Africa and the 14th best goalkeeper in the world by the International Federation of Football History and Statistics. The Rivers Angels shot-stopper caught the eye of fans and critics at the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup in France earlier this year. The 18-year-old played in all but one of Falcons' games in France, including the 2-0 win over South Korea, where she became the youngest ever goalkeeper to keep a clean sheet in a Women's World Cup game. Her performance this year has now been duly recognized as she was named the best goalkeeper in Africa by the IFFHS, while she was also named the 16th best goalkeeper in the world. And to the drama of the Nigeria Professional Football League, where Kwara United Football Club are back in the Nigeria Professional Football League after playing just a match in the 2019/2020 Nigeria National League, which began on Friday. The Kwara State government-owned club side achieved thus with the acquisition of the slot of Delta Force FC of Asaba in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Delta Force had officially acquired the slot of Kada City FC of Kaduna just before the start of the current Nigeria Professional Football League season, but they now seem to have been finding it difficult adjusting to their top flight status, leading to the sale of the slot to Kwara United. The deal was sealed yesterday after extensive discussions between the management of the two sites in Delta State, with the general manager of Kwara United FC, Bashir Badawi, leading the club's delegation to Delta. Drama, I tell you. And we move straight to Enugu Rangers, where another drama is unfolding. Salisu Yusuf, the assistant coach of the Super Eagles, will henceforth assist Rangers International Football Club of Enugu in their domestic and continental engagements. Yusuf will be assisted by former coach of Delta Force, Mbwas Mangu, to take charge of the Flying Antelopes. Rangers Management Board on Sunday sacked coach Benedict Ugu and the entire technical crew following series of losses to MFM, Rivers United and Aqua Starlets. Addressing the team, Yusuf said that he was sent by the Nigeria Football Federation to assist the team till further notice, contrary to rumors that said he was unveiled as the new coach of Rangers.
Yeah, I'm here on technical assistant because of the team is representing Nigeria in the Confederation Cup, and the circumstances on the ground leads to the Federation assigning me here. I'm always positive. We want to take the team to the next level from where they are now. We know it's not going to be easy. You understand? We need to change things, but it will become gradual. It will be gradual, not just one. Now that we have game on Sunday, maybe we just introduce one or two things from our own side so that we add it to their own and see what will happen on Sunday. But positively, we are hoping for a better result.
All right, Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development in Enugu State, Honorable Vitus Okechi, also tried to explain the coming of Salisu Yusuf.
I'm a supporter. You can be able to bring a fresh hand that can be able to handle this ball. It's not as used to say we don't have good players. We have good players on ground, but the problem is just the technical issue, and of which we know with the man on ground with his experience, we will be able to move the team forward.
He said the NFF Nigeria Football Federation asked him to come on a rescue mission. Yeah,
in fact. It was after that Sunday incident, the NFL people have to call us, because they are interested in Rangers, and this CAF Confederation, they don't want Rangers to stop at this group stage. So they want them to progress. So they said let them send a capable hand from the Super Eagles coach crew to come and help and groom them.
All right, fans have asked about the duration of this change. Could it be till further notice or for few games? Let's take a listen to Honorable Vitus Okechi on the duration of Salisu Yusuf as technical advisor of Rangers.
We believe they are going to stay long for us, as far as this CAF Confederation is still on. Because what the NFF are interested in is the CAF aspect of it.
All right, let's move over to the NFF, where the Nigeria Football Federation says it has asked Super Eagles technical advisor, Mr. Genot Raw, to explain reasons behind several breaches of the contract that he signed with the body, which forbids him to divulge to the public or media information on some aspects of the contract. Speaking on Wednesday, in Abuja on Wednesday, that's yesterday, NFF's technical director, Mr. Bitrus Bewarang, said Mr. Raw's newfound love for disclosing information beyond technical matters to the media is highly unprofessional and against the spirit and letter of his contractual relationship with the football ruling body. The respected coach Berang, who was assistant to Clemens Westerhoff when Nigeria qualified for her first ever FIFA World Cup and won the African Cup of Nations in Tunisia in 1994, pinpointed Clause N of the Code of Conduct for Coaches, which states that coaches must not by their actions or inaction cause NFF or the federal government of Nigeria any harm, reputational damage or embarrassment, nor do anything directly or indirectly to undermine their contract with the Nigeria Football Federation. In addition, Clause E of the same code says that coaches must not misrepresent the NFF or distort information to the media. They are precluded from imparting unauthorized information to the media. Okay, that's how it starts. I tell you, I just hope the man doesn't get sacked. All right, African football legend Samuel Eto'o says he wants to use his business management studies at the Harvard Business School in USA to give back to Africa. The four-time African Player of the Year winner announced his retirement from football at the age of 38 in September. Eto'o believes crossing the Atlantic Ocean to the United States for business education will help his quest to give back to the continent. All right, Portuguese wonder kid João Felix has won the Golden Boy Award for 2019 ahead of England's Jadon Sancho and Bayer Leverkusen's Kai Havertz, who finished second and third respectively. The 20-year-old announced himself on the world stage with Benfica last season that saw him score 18 goals with the Portuguese Giants. His performances earned him a £113 million move to Atletico Madrid earlier this summer. All right, and from there we move over to the most exciting club competition on planet Earth, the UEFA Champions League. All right, Lionel Messi broke another Champions League goal-scoring record yesterday night, becoming the first player in the history of the competition to score against 34 different teams. His goal against Borussia Dortmund in the 33rd minute saw him pull clear of Raul Gonzalez and Cristiano Ronaldo, with whom he was previously tied. The 34 clubs that Messi has scored against in the competition are spread across 16 separate nations and include 17 clubs from Europe's top 5 leagues: Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, and Ligue 1. English clubs account for the largest number of teams from a single division, with FC Barcelona having scored against 6 Premier League sides in his Champions League career. Since his first Champions League goal for FC Barcelona in November 2005, Messi has gone on to become the competition's second highest all-time top scorer, behind only Cristiano Ronaldo. He also holds the record as the only player to have scored in 15 consecutive Champions League campaigns, having scored in the competition every season since his first goal in 2005. Meanwhile, Ousmane Dembele limped off for Barcelona in the first half of that Champions League clash against his former club, now talking about Borussia Dortmund. Dembele was surprisingly handed a place in the team at the expense of Antoine Griezmann, but only managed 25 minutes of the Group F clash at Camp Nou. And in Liverpool, Dejan Lovren scored a 65th minute equalizer for Liverpool as they faced Napoli at the Anfield yesterday. Dres Mertens had put the visitors ahead in the 21st minute before Liverpool fought their way back in the second half. And the sad news for Liverpool, they were dealt a big blow in the game as they lost Fabinho to an apparent ankle injury. The former Monaco midfielder has been a key player for Liverpool this season, making 19 appearances across all competitions. Liverpool would need to get at least a point when they face RB Salzburg, with the Salzburg team also in contention to qualify. Napoli would also need to beat Genk at home, which looks more like an easier task. Let's take a listen to Liverpool coach Jurgen Klopp.
That's obviously our way. Of course, we would have wished for tonight for making it clear. But that's how football is, and you know, in this moment in the Napoli dressing room, they feel like they are already through, and they have to win against Genk at home. So that's how it is. They feel like they did that already, and everybody here thinks, oh my God, that will be a tough one. It will be tough, 100%. That's clear. But the one thing what shouldn't have happened tonight, obviously, for the way Napoli set up, was conceding. We had to increase pressure. We were not brilliant, but we put the pressure then on them. The last 15 minutes of the first half were then like it should be, at least from an intensity point of view. So we pressed them kept them in the last third.
All right, in one of the most entertaining Champions League group stage matches yesterday, Valencia and Chelsea play at a 2-2 draw at the Mestalla in a result that's better for the Blues than it is for Valencia. Wednesday's game had it all. 4 goals, world-class saves, unbelievable misses, and a called overturned on VAR, all within 90 minutes. Carlos Sola opened the scoring for Valencia 40 minutes in following 2 unbelievable misses from teammate Maxi Gomez. But Chelsea responded in the next minute as Mateo Kovacic got his first goal for the club with a lovely low strike. In the second half, it was American Christian Pulisic who scored his first UEFA Champions League goal for the Blues, putting them in the driver's seat to win the match and all but cement a spot in the next round. But the match was far from over. Valencia won a penalty kick that Kepa saved brilliantly before Los Che leveled with less than 10 minutes to go on a wonder goal from Daniel Wars. Frank Lampard, coach of Chelsea, had this to say after the game.
Yeah, we nearly won it, we nearly lost it. It was end to end. Not that you'd want it to be from our point of view. That's one thing. But yeah, when you come away, I mean, let's be straight. It's very difficult to come here. I played here when the atmosphere turns as it did in the latter stages of the game, particularly. Sometimes you're hanging on. And to a point we were. But yeah, it keeps it in our hands. So we have to be happy with that. Certain parts of performance, not some add-on. And I haven't had to say that much this season. But yeah, we've got a point and we have to think about the last game when it comes.
Chelsea were dealt a potentially major injury blow as Tammy Abraham needed to be carried away on a stretcher at the end of the first half against Valencia yesterday. Some fans already assumed that Tammy was immediately sent to the hospital. But let's ask Frank Lampard, is Tammy actually in the hospital?
I'm not sure if that's true, but he's in the dressing room now, so I don't think it is. I think the word at half-time was it looked quite severe, a bang on the hip, a strong bang. And then the word after the game, it might not be as severe as we first thought, and that's as much detail I can give you.
All right, to the full result. Genk, they lost to Salzburg 4-1, ensuring that Salzburg have a chance of making it to the next round. Liverpool played at a 1-0 draw with Napoli, and in Group F, Barcelona did beat Borussia Dortmund 3-1. Slavia Praga, they lost to Inter Milan 3-1. Lautaro Martinez and Lukaku all part of the goal scorers right there in Group G. Zenit St. Petersburg, they beat Lyon 2-0, keeping the group quite open. RB Leipzig, they did play at a 2-2 draw with Benfica. Leipzig making it through to the round of 16. In Group H, Valencia, as I told you, did play at a 2-2 draw with Chelsea, while Lille with Victor Osimhen, part of that one, they did lose at home to Ajax. 2-0, it ended. And Manchester City wants to keep Pep Guardiola at the helm for many years to come, says the English champions chairman Khaldoun Al-Mubarak. Guardiola, who stayed for 4 seasons with Barcelona and 3 terms with Bayern Munich, took over at City in 2016 and is under contract till 2021. The Spaniard, who has guided City to successive league titles and an unprecedented domestic treble last term, nipped speculation in the board that he would leave at the end of this campaign by saying last week he wanted to stay longer. Al-Mubarak said Guardiola was much more than just a great manager and he would like him to remain at the club for a long time.
You know, Pep has been an incredible asset to this organization. He's, we can speak about his managerial accomplishments for hours, but I think as a person, as an individual, as a friend, he's been a core part of what we've accomplished here over the last 3 years. He's very committed. We're committed to him. You've seen his interviews just, I think, a couple of days ago. You know, this is really an environment that is conducive for success for both him and everybody involved in this organization. So I'm very satisfied with his commitment and our commitment to him. And I'm looking forward to the continuity of this for years to come.
All right, down to the UEFA Europa League. We call it Thursday Night Football. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer confirmed he will hand first senior starts to Academy trio Ethan Laird, Dishon Bennett and Dillian Levitt in Manchester United's Europa League clash with Astana today. United have travelled to Kazakhstan knowing they're already assured of a place in the knockout phase of the competition, having taken 10 points from their 4 matches. With the Red Devils still 9 points adrift of the top 4 in the Premier League, Solskjaer has taken the opportunity to rest key players and thus taking an extremely young squad to Nur Sultan. While United have not confirmed the full squad, it has been reported 14 of the 18 are teenagers. Let's now take a listen to manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on why he decided to go with young stars.
Common sense. We've done great to qualify after 4 games.
So it gives us an opportunity to give game time to the experienced lads who need it. So Axel, Luke, Jesse, they've not really had too many games and they're coming back from injuries. It's a great chance for me to give Lee his first start for the club. And it's hard, with the young kids to give them enough games against men, professional games. We got the EFL trophy, and for me, this is a great chance to see them all together. Yes, we are ready for the game. We had a good travel yesterday. Of course, the time difference and the distance of the flight gives us a challenge, but we're trying to make the best possible outcome.
Arsenal will also be in action against Eintracht Frankfurt. And Arsenal's coach Unai Emery spoke about today's game while adding some thoughts on his troubled future at the club.
We have two objectives tomorrow. One is first in that competition in the Europa League with us, very important. And we are doing a very good job in this competition, but we need tomorrow to make sure our first position in the table, and our objective, the second, is to win and to take confidence, and as well as connect with our supporter and to show our capacity, our quality, and our energy with them. My job is to prepare the match tomorrow and to look at only the match tomorrow, thinking to show the best performance for the team, and also we are playing at home with our supporter and to transmit then our energy and our game plan and doing well all the things we worked here in the training run. That is my thought.
All right, so the major fixtures to expect today. Do the launch. F91 will be up against Apoel Nicosia. Sevilla will be up against Karabakh. Barca will face Krasnodar. Trabzonspor will be at home to Getafe with the likes of Jonobi Mikel spread to be part of that one. Sporting CP will be up against PSV and Eindhoven. Arsenal will face Eintracht Frankfurt, while Vitória de Guimarães will be up against Standard Liège. Feyenoord will face Rangers. Young Boys will face FC Porto. Saint-Etienne will be up against Ghent. CSK Moscow will face Ludogorets Razgrad, while Besiktas will be up against Slovan Bratislava. Braga will be up against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Astana will face Manchester United, while AZ Alkmaar will be up against Partizan Belgrade. And let's tell you that Jürgen Klinsmann will lead Hertha Berlin as head coach until the end of the season after the Bundesliga side parted company with Ante Kovic. The capital club announced the change in the wake of a 4-0 defeat to Augsburg that left them hovering precariously above the relegation places. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he has become part owner of Swedish side Hammarby, the club announced yesterday. The former Juventus, Barcelona and Manchester United striker has acquired 50% of the stake held by entertainment conglomerate AEG. Meanwhile, Zlatan Ibrahimovic's decision to become part owner of Hammarby has burned all bridges with Malmo, according to his first club's supporters group. The former Juventus, Inter, Barcelona and Manchester United striker came through the ranks at his local club Malmo and played for their first team between 1999 and 2001 before joining Ajax. And despite most of Ibrahimovic's career being spent away from Malmo, he and the club retained an affinity for each other, with the enigmatic forward previously hinting at a desire to return to the club, including having a statue built in his name. And let's move over to the Euros and tell you that temporary substitutions for footballers suspected of being concussed are likely to become compulsory for next summer's Euro 2020. We also hear that Russian President Vladimir Putin told the UEFA president yesterday that his country would do its best to organize the Euro 2020 football tournament as Moscow risks a possible 4-year doping ban. And lastly, before we leave the studio, let's tell you that Luis Enrique has accused his ex-assistant Robert Moreno of being disloyal as the fallout from Spain's shock coaching change continued yesterday. The former Barcelona boss faced the media for the first time since returning to the role on November 19th and took aim at Moreno's character. Moreno served as Luis Enrique's assistant until the latter stepped down from the top job in June to care for his young daughter Zana. Spain qualified for the Euro 2020 under Moreno, but he will not be part of Luis Enrique's backroom team moving forward after a falling out between the pair. Thanks for being a part of the show this morning. My name is Wisdom Obina, your Superman in the world of sports. I'll be back with the rest of the crew after the news update at 3 p.m. for Today Sports Live. Until then, have yourselves a blessed day and keep it locked on this dial. Today FM 95, the rocking one, the voice of the people.
Are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM. the voice of the people. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What better way to begin the new year?